New at 5, the government is either trying to protect your kids from social media or trying to parent your kids. That seems to be the two sides on a big debate after a new bill passed through the state house.
We told you yesterday when the House passed it, the bill would ban most kids from social media if it becomes law. Some parents say it's a step in the right direction. Others say it encroaches on their rights as parents.
Fox 23's Devin Lyon is live with us in studio tonight breaking down that bill. And Devin, you talked to a few parents about this.
That's right. Some of them are wondering if it will help kids or will people just find new ways to skirt the law. If this bill does become law, it limits social media to people 16 and older. But those 16 or 17 would need parental consent. Now, of course, this raised a lot of questions from parents. A bill limiting social media to users 16 or older is one step closer to becoming law. The House bill now headed to the state Senate would require social media companies to go through a third-party verification system in order to verify the ages of their users.
You're a representative. Shouldn't this be the role of the parents?
Yes, I think it still is the role of the parent, but similarly to how we do with cigarettes, tobacco, alcohol, firearms, tattoos, etc. The state has a compelling interest to protect our students, so we are kind of setting a threshold and going from there.
Those aged 16 or 17 would need to provide verification from a parent in order to create an account. This means something like your driver's license would be needed for your child to have an Instagram or Facebook account. I reached out to parents in person and over the phone to get their thoughts on this possible change.
I agree with the sentiment. I'm not certain that a bill or a law would necessarily fix the gap.
I'm all for holding these platforms accountable, but not at the expense of giving up my parental rights and deciding when my child is ready for social media and when they're not.
Kaylee and Walter from Collinsville have kids around that age range. They say it's a step in the right direction, but more clarity is needed.
It's a good start, but it just kind of depends on what's actually going to happen once the bill is passed.
It does help get parents more involved as their kids are needing to now at least attempt to ask for permission. So it does get parental involvement. I think that parental involvement is the important part of fixing this gap.
I spoke to Nikki from Cushing over the phone. Her son is 12. She says although he is not on social media, most of his friends are. How do you feel about a possible law to restrict age when it comes to social media?
So me personally, as a parent, I think that it almost strips the parental rights from the parent whenever the state tries to step in and tell you at what age your child should be allowed to use social media platforms. I do think that there needs to be some safeguards put in place, make the platforms safer. But I do think that as a parent, it should be my right to decide when my child is ready to take on the social media world.
And you feel like that's your right as the parent to get to decide when he's ready?
100%.
Both told me they think the bill needs more work and have questions on how effective it will actually be. Walter, who works in data, told me a simple VPN could bypass the law, similar to how some people use a VPN on apps like Pokemon Go or for work or to even bet on sports, which is not yet legal in this state.
Like if I'm a parent who says that my child doesn't just pick up my wallet and put my ID in, I think they could do that. I mean, it's not like it's something that kids haven't done before.
Our kids wound up on social media kind of in a sneaky way. And so I do think kids are going to find a way to get around it. I mean, if they've got the right connections, but also, is it going to be for every social media platform? Is it going to be specific to, like Facebook, TikTok, that kind of stuff? Or is it actually going to work for things like Discord? And this is a statewide thing. So that being the case, we, have had out-of-state driver's license. So will my out-of-state license work or will theirs? Like you said, step in the right direction, but there's going to be some very fine-tuning that needs to be done to make it actually work.
Now, after all those interviews, I compiled some of the follow-up questions I got from parents. I sent those in an email to the bill's author, Representative Chad Caldwell. He did just get back to me. One of the areas he cleared up was out-of-state IDs will still work. The bill itself does not require IDs to be a part of the verification process. It's only one method a social media company can take to meet this state requirement. I've added some more of his answers on this story on Fox23.com. Live in studio covering news that matters, Devin Lyon, Fox 23 News.
Similar laws have been made in states like Arkansas and Florida. We have the full version of the bill on fox23.com so you can read it for yourself.